never stopped fighting the Civil War. Part of this country traded in their pointy white hats for a red ball cap. Now their faces are no longer covered. In America, we have to deal with this. It does suck that Vice President Harris lost. It is. But here's the reality of it. This gives us an opportunity to address the real problem with the United States. Because A, it's never been great for everybody. And if that triggers you, then you're probably wearing a red hat because you're racist. And secondly, we've never dealt with white supremacy in this country. More specifically, white Christian nationalism. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. This country was created by white racist slave owners.
Hey guys, welcome back to Afro Judy. I really appreciate your support and I hope you all are doing well. I just watched this video that really hit me so hard and I wanted to share some thoughts about it. It's about race, justice, and what it means to be patriotic in America right now. Honestly, it got me thinking of some stuff that I really don't talk enough about, and I hope it does so for you. So let's dive in right away and watch the video, and kindly give it a thumbs up. I'll come back with my commentaries about it.
Last night, I was on my live, and I had a veteran who served 2 tours. And she's horrified by what's happening in this country. And she's going to get rid of her dual citizenship as a citizen. She goes, I cannot be part of whatever this is. She's moved a bunch of families into sanctuary cities. A bunch of families so that they're safe. She said, I cannot believe what's happening to this country. I fought for freedoms in this country, for people to be treated equally by their character, not what they look like. And she's right. We've never stopped fighting the Civil War. Part of this country traded in their pointy white hats for a red ball cap. Now their faces are no longer covered. In America, we have to deal with this. It does suck that Vice President Harris lost. It is. But here's the reality of it. This gives us an opportunity to address the real problem with the United States. Because A, it's never been great for everybody. And if that triggers you, then you're probably wearing a red hat because you're racist. And secondly, we've never dealt with white supremacy in this country. More specifically, white Christian nationalism. And I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it. This country was created by white racist slave owners. They owned human people just because of how they looked. They designed it to benefit 21-year-old landowning white men. And in this self-proclaimed Christian nation, whatever the hell that even means, they said that black people were worth 3/5 of a person. What kind of Christian nation judges people based on the color of their skin? What kind of fucked up Christian nation do you people live in? You mean white Christian nation. See, that's really what this is about. MAGA stands for Make America White Again. Because here's the sad truth about it. As hard it is for you white snowflakes to hear this, you were triggered by a black man sitting in the White House behind the Resolute desk instead of picking your cotton. And that just sent your panties in a tizzy. And you lost your shit. So you went back to what you know. To your primal ooze. Your primal instincts. You voted for the most uneducated, unqualified, immoral plantation owner. Because you just couldn't vote for the black woman. She was too smart for you, too intelligent, too polished. You want to hear a dumbass talk about Hannibal Lecter and electric sharks and moving hurricanes with a Sharpie and cheating on his wife and causing insurrection and being a convicted felon and actually abusing women and have dinner with Nick Fuentes and questioning the birth of a black man. Yeah, because you want the price of eggs to go down. You do. You're a racist. You voted for a racist. And you're fine with it. You can't say that you voted for a racist because you like his policies. Can I vote for the mustache man in 1930s Germany? No. You know, what he did was wrong, but I really like his policies. It doesn't work that way. You voted for it because you like it. How many times have you heard people say, I didn't like her cackle because they're as well? It is a white male Christian patriarchy, and that shit needs to stop right goddamn now. And I'm a person of faith, and I have no right to force my beliefs on you or anybody else. 10 Commandments have no place in a school while you support a man who breaks every single one of them every day. If more people like me would have been having these conversations, would have been walking with John Lewis across that bridge, or sat on the bus with Rosa Parks, or been there at the speech with Martin Luther King, or helped Harriet Tubman with the Underground Railroad, we wouldn't be here as a society. But what we did was we said, hey, our white privilege is going to keep us safe. So I'm not going to get shit, and I'm just going to let it happen. And what we're seeing right now is a lot of people that look like me, who thought that the plantation owner was going to let him stay in the guest house, now they're out there working for him. That's right. And they're going to lose their jobs and their farms and their livelihood. Now they give a shit. But you didn't care when it didn't affect you. I can't change what happened before. I wasn't here for 50, 80 years ago, 100 years ago. But I can tell you one thing. As long as God gives me breath in this body, this is what I'm going to fight for. And if at some day that requires me running for office to say this conversation right here, then damn it, I'll do it. And I don't care if I lose. As long as this message is said and this battle is being fought for, that's more important than winning. When Dr. Strange was fighting Dormammu, he couldn't win. Dormammu was just too strong. But he had a time stone where he can revive himself over and over again because it was an infinity stone. And Dormammu says, but you can't beat me. And Dr. Strange says, you're right. I can lose again and again and again. And what's happened with our political system is that's all they've given a shit about is winning. We need somebody that's going to run, that winning is not the only goal. Dr. Strange says, yeah, I can lose, but the people of Earth will be safe. And if at some point that means that I have to run to lose, to keep America safe, to bring up white supremacy in this country and point out the red hatters that they're really Klan members, then I'll be damned if I'm not going to do that. It's time that more people that look like me say what I'm saying right goddamn. I've had enough of this. And I know that I don't have to tell our black brothers and sisters that. They've lived it. Their parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and so on and so forth. You want to be a person of faith? Then love thy neighbor. Stand for somebody. Stand for something when it doesn't affect you. Give a shit somebody when it doesn't affect you. Maybe don't worry so much about your God bank account and give a damn about decency and morality and equality and fighting for other people and standing for other people. That's what patriotism is. Putting a bunch of American flags on your truck makes you a little bitch. That doesn't make you American, doesn't make you a tough guy. Having a pet bald eagle doesn't mean you're a real man. Standing up for what's right when it's inconvenient. And I'll leave you with this. A leader is not a searcher of consensus, they are a molder of consensus. Right now we have a lot of people that are a searcher of consensus. They want to be trolls. They want to go into their echo chambers and they want to say what's great and easy to hear. A leader says what needs to be said when it's uncomfortable. We are a white Christian male patriarchy, a white supremacist country. Racism is real and racism is alive, and that's why we have a white nationalist in the White House that surrounds himself with other white nationalists like Stephen Miller and J.D. Vance. Because don't kid yourself, their end game is the Hunger Games and to put the white man back on top, and I'll be damned if I won't speak out against it every goddamn day.
So guys, welcome back. I hope you've watched the whole of that clip. That video really touched me because it started with the story of a veteran who fought for freedom so that people can be judged by who they are and not how they look. That really stuck with me because it shows that after all these years, the fight isn't over yet. I mean, we still see the same old fight or the same old struggles playing out every day. So guys, what actually stood out to me is how it points out that the law and the system were built by people who wanted to keep the power for themselves. It's a tough truth, but it's an important one because this system were not designed to be fair to everyone, and the history still impacts us. Right now, I know talking about racism and white supremacy can make some people feel uncomfortable, but that's exactly why we are talking about it. That man pointed at some issues like Make America Great Again, and it immediately made me to reflect on what patriotism means beyond the surface, on what patriotism means beyond the hearts, on what patriotism means beyond the flags. You've seen people with the MAGA hats. You've seen people flying the MAGA flags. But what's happening in America right now? Is it great again yet? Actually, more white people need to be talking about this because it's not about politics. It's about good versus bad. Because right now, I feel like America is about to make the biggest mistake that was made back then in 1930s in Germany. Right now, the brown people are the main target, and some people forget the fact that the brown and the black people, the indigenous people, were the first to step on the American soil, and they made sure that that country is great. And now, some people are still blaming Barack Obama that he deported a lot of immigrants than Donald Trump. People are forgetting the fact that during Obama's tenure, he didn't deploy the National Guards during the protest. Like, protest is a way of practicing your democratic right. But now, being that they are bringing in the Marine, they're deploying the National Guards because you are protesting. This, like, the Civil War is looming. You know what, guys? What really made me to feel hopeful is when this man stated that real patriotism is standing up for justice even when it's hard. Real patriotism is protecting your neighbor and fighting for equality even if it does not affect you directly. And the references to heroes like Rosa Parks, John Lewis really hit home because these heroes really faced danger and discomfort because they believed in a better future. And that's so inspiring. It reminds me that real changes takes courage, and sometimes it means speaking uncomfortable truths. The man also talked about leadership. Not the kind of leaders who want to make everyone happy, but the kind of leaders who say something the way it's supposed to be said, even if the situation is so tough. And that's something I'm trying to do in my own way by having honest conversation here with you all. So, what can we do, guys? We can start by listening, by learning, and by standing up when it matters. Recognizing the history that shapes today and choosing to be part of the future where justice and equality ain't ideas but reality. I'd love to hear what you think. Have you ever experienced or witnessed moments where people stood up for what's right even when the situation was so hard? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's keep the conversation going and also learn from each other. Thank you so much, guys, for hearing me out. And if this spoke for you, Feel free to share, like, and also subscribe if you're coming across the channel for the very first time. I'm your host and presenter, Judy. Until next time, see you on my next episode. Bye.